As Vice-Chancellor of the University, I declare this congregation open for the installation of the Chancellor and the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council. Will you please be seated? It is with great pleasure that I invite the public orator to introduce the new Chancellor, Lord Grocott of Telford.
The tradition of world-class universities in this country is centuries old, and the terminology of universities is one of the features that reflects their antiquity. In the Middle Ages, the head of a university was the Chancellor, and as he spent his time at the Royal Court in Westminster, he left the university in charge of a deputy who was called the Vice-Chancellor. These titles have lived on, and in the 21st century, the person who is the working head of the university is the Vice-Chancellor, in our case, Professor Sir Robert Burgess. Like other universities, we retain the tradition of a Chancellor who is the nominal head of the university, and today we are installing our new Chancellor, the Right Honourable Lord Grocott of Telford. Now, Lord Grocott is the 6th Chancellor in the history of this university. His 5 predecessors were all scientists of great distinction. All were Fellows of the Royal Society, 4 were members of the Order of Merit, and 3 won Nobel Prizes. Lord Grocott marks a break with the tradition of electing scientists. His subject at university and his profession thereafter was politics, and the closest he came to science was a period as PPS to the Minister of Agriculture. This post and others in government, including Chief Whip in the House of Lords, mean that more than any of his distinguished predecessors, Lord Grocott will fulfil the traditional role of the Chancellor as the person who represents us in the corridors of power, which are still in Westminster but are now to be found in Parliament rather than the Royal Court. Lord Grocott is unique amongst our Chancellors in another respect that makes him an ideal advocate for this university. He is one of us, and long ago, 5 Chancellors ago, he walked across this stage to receive his degree from the University of Leicester. He was not then the noble Lord Grocott, but simply Bruce Grocott, the son of a railwayman. When he came here, Leicester was not the world-class university that it is now, because it had just become a university and had not yet earned its place at the top table. A-levels had recently been introduced, and Bruce had secured high marks that gave him a wide choice of universities. He could afford to go to university because he had won a prestigious state scholarship. He chose Leicester because uniquely among universities we offered exactly what he wanted, which was a single subject honours degree in politics. Now, the Department of Politics, now the Department of Politics and International Relations, has had a distinguished history. And one of the reasons for its standing is that from its inception in 1955, it has had distinguished professors at the helm. The founding professor who was in post when Bruce entered the university was J.D.B. Miller, an Australian political scientist who, while Bruce was a student here, wrote an important book called The Nature of Politics, which, among other issues, debated the proposition that politics was an unstable and contingent activity, a voyage with neither harbour nor journey's end. One cannot help but observe that Bruce Grocott chose to embark on just such a voyage and has remained on the ship of politics throughout his life. This university was, as it is now, a friendly place. And one of the friends that Bruce made while a student here, when he moved on to do a PGCE at Leicester, was a young woman called Sally. She is with us today, and they have now been married for almost half a century. After leaving Leicester, Bruce taught politics initially at Manchester University and then at the institution that's now Birmingham City University. In Birmingham, he stood for election at parish and county council level, and after several attempts, he was elected to the Bromsgrove Urban District Council. He aspired to enter Parliament, and on his third attempt, politics is a bruising game, he was in October 1974 elected as MP for Lichfield and Tamworth. This was his first entry to the Palace of Westminster and to what he describes as the best job in the world. In 1979, he'd lost his seat in the Conservative avalanche, and for the next 8 years, he worked as a political commentator on what is now Central Television. When the political tide began to turn, he was elected as MP for Wrekin, where he was to serve for 14 years. He worked for Neil Kinnock and John Smith, and in 1994 became Parliamentary Private Secretary to Tony Blair, whom he was to serve for 7 years. He retired as an MP in 2001 and migrated to the red end of the Palace of Westminster as Lord Grocott of Telford. There he became Chief Whip and was appointed as a member of the Privy Council. As Chief Whip, he became a member of Cabinet and served in this capacity under both Tony Blair and Gordon Brown until his retirement in 2008. At that point, he effected the transition from party politician to statesman, but he remains deeply committed to politics and still attends the House regularly. I am honoured, sir, to present to you and to those present today the Right Honourable Lord Grocott, who has graciously acceded to our enthusiastic request that he be installed as Chancellor of this university. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the University Court, I present to you Bruce Grocott that you may install him as Chancellor of this university.
I install you as Chancellor of the University of Leicester. Many congratulations. Lord Lieutenant, Lord Bishop of Leicester, High Sheriffs of Leicestershire and Rutland, civic guests, distinguished honorary fellows, parents, friends and graduands. As Vice-Chancellor, I am delighted to welcome you to this degree congregation as it has included the installation of Bruce Lord Grocott as our new Chancellor. You will appreciate that this ceremony does not happen very often, as Lord Grocott is only the 6th Chancellor in our 56-year history as a university. He is a Leicester graduate, and I am sure this will mean that you, the graduates of the university, will identify with him. Mr. Chancellor, we wish you every success in developing your role in the university, and we look forward very much to working with you. This degree congregation is also a celebration that is principally for postgraduate students who constitute almost 50% of the university's population, a feature that makes Leicester unique among UK universities, as we have a high proportion of postgraduate students who study with us on a part-time basis, both on campus and by distance learning. We do not just talk about lifelong learning, we do it. We hope you will remember this as a very special day for yourselves and your families, and that you will continue to follow the fortunes of your university that has established a very distinguished record. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 23,000 students and 4,000 staff, and last academic year we had a turnover of £263 million, a sum that has doubled over the last 10 years. We are, therefore, a big business with higher education at its heart. The last year, in particular, witnessed many achievements for Leicester. In the league tables, the university is in 17th place in the Times and 19th in the Guardian. We take all this very seriously. And on that basis, looking at the league tables, it is very clear the Times is obviously the most reliable guide to UK higher education. Demand for undergraduate places, no matter what the press may say, is for the University of Leicester up by 6% this year. Our annual research income has increased to over £50 million in the last year, and we have continued to win many awards, including the Sconnell Library Design Award and a further award for our outstanding library team, as the citation quite properly puts it. One reason for our success is the equal focus Leicester places on providing high-quality teaching linked to high-quality research. The university's performance in the last research assessment exercise earned Leicester a position in the top 20 research-intensive universities in the UK, while internationally we were placed in the top 2% of universities in the world. All our teaching is supported by leading-edge research, and we know that our research has the greatest impact of any Midlands university and the 8th greatest impact in the UK, as measured by the QS World University Rankings using citation data, that is, data that quotes the work of people who work in this university. In terms of our estate, we have completed a new £16 million medical research building that opened in September. We have also opened 2 new sports centres, one on the main campus and another in Oadby. We have therefore gone from being a no swimming pool university to one with 2 pools. And currently we have a £17 million management training centre under construction in Knighton. Our work never ceases, and we're currently reviewing our £1 billion development framework plan. We are completing and creating plans for new research, new teaching programmes and new community links. This year we have launched new research centres in medical humanities, landscape interaction and change, bioengineering and the future of work. These are to be joined by a centre on genetics that will start after Easter this year. It all demonstrates that we are a dynamic 21st century university that provides high-quality research and teaching alongside meeting widening participation benchmarks and providing an excellent student experience. It is these features that lead to a positive institutional ethos. We are committed to the development of your employability. Whether you have already gained a graduate job or you are still trying to do so, the Careers Service would like to keep in touch with you. Your relationship with the university does not end when you graduate. In many ways, that is just the beginning. We want you to be proud of your achievements at Leicester and to continue your connection with the university. This means letting us know how you are getting on and letting us help you where and whenever we can. Higher education is facing many challenges, not of its own making. At the University of Leicester, we start from a good position, with strong student demand, growing research activity, and sound finances. We see the benefits of progress that we've made in the last few years. We are determined to rise to the challenge and take new opportunities, review our activities, and where necessary, work in new ways, as I want you, the graduates, parents, friends and supporters of the university to continue to be very proud of us. This will be our core aim. Finally, I would like to congratulate you all on the degrees you have obtained and look forward to seeing you at alumni events in future years. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2013 to join me in a round of applause. Have a very enjoyable day, applaud your fellow students, and on behalf of the whole university, I wish you every success in your future lives and careers.
Will all graduates please stand?
Ladies and gentlemen, by the authority of the Senate, I admit candidates, both present and absent, to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Mr. Chancellor, as Head of the College of Science and Engineering, I present the following candidates for their degrees. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Ali Abubrig. Andrew Armitage. Asim Ben Sadek.
Very well done. You're a popular man, I think.
Taher Biala. Samuel Cheney.
Nice to see a good height.
Austin Cogan. Laurent Darras. Ruggiero Dondi. Jennifer Graham. Shahufta Henna. Mariam Homan. Abdul Hakim Khmag. Falah Lami. Norasikin Matisa. Christopher Nixon. Rihan Ahmed Ifan Ahmad. Adam Russell. Jamie Rowley. Amy Scott. Raid Shawa. Kastiti Zubovas. For the degree of Master of Science in Actuarial Science, Sandeep Bath. Sunil Danda. Louis Nana Osu. Minal Samat. Karan Farah. Thomas Whiteman. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Computational Methods, Anastasia Ayuanu. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Computer Science, Meshal Al-Harbi. Anisha Aravind. Neha Babla. Lakshmi Balakrishnan. Kartik Bello Gopalakrishnan Sethi. Kai Chao. Mona Lisa Das. Winner of the Best Technical Project, Jyotish Joshi. Kasprit Kaur. Shakawan Mahmood. Sophia Mina. Sashi Murugesan. Nishanti Rajendran. Sriya Shikala. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Mohammed Al-Radadi. Reynold Arakiraj Christopher. Shrey Bhatt. Aditya Gotumukara. Ariz Memon. Gopal Mirialu Danaseka. Amar Osman. Winner of the MSc and Advanced Electrical and Electronic Engineering Best Student Prize, Fakas Pervais.
Well, very well done indeed.
For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Mechanical Engineering, Vijay Anumula. Winner of the MSc in Advanced Mechanical Engineering Best Student Prize, Lekshman Biju. Ketan Dawu. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Software Engineering, Dalun Lee. Kishore Manoharan. Miran Mohammed Ahmed. Harshal Patel. Ahmad Shuaibu. For the degree of Master of Science in Agile Software Engineering Techniques, Yanhua Chen. For the degree of Master of Science in Cancer Chemistry, Simon Walmsley.
Good for you. It's good to be keen.
For the degree of Master of Science in Chemical Research, Green Chemistry, Andrew Ewing. Yat Ho. Simon Smith. Jingshu Yang. For the degree of Master of Science in Control and Signal Processing, Nabadha Elangova. Sivabalan Eswaran. Harinarayan Rajagopal. Shital Sheta. For the degree of Master of Science in Embedded Systems and Control, Abi Ayepi Alex. Hong Yuan Jing. Nauman Ulhach. Manoj Selvan. Winner of the MSc in Embedded Systems and Control Engineering Best Student Prize, Lakshmi Vuriti. She Wang. For the degree of Master of Science in Environmental Informatics, Nicola Church. Winner of the RICS Prize, Anna David. Ross Hager. For the degree of Master of Science in Financial Mathematics and Computation, James Andrews. Chi Chen. Xiaoyin Chen. Winner of the Department of Mathematics Best Student Performance Prize, Xiaonan Dong. Mohammed Hassan. Winner of the Department of Mathematics Best Project Prize, Xia Jiao. Ahmet Kaya. Evangelos Litos.
You're a popular chap, you're all right.
Pute Man. Stafrula Pora. Min Yuan Ren. Hokia Samchi. Winner of the Department of Mathematics Best Student Performance Prize, Shun Shek. Shaibu Shonola. Mahuri Walgam Palaje. Haoshen Wang. Yang Wang. Lei Min Wu. Winner of the Department of Mathematics Best Project Prize, Ruhao Wu. Olisa Yadi. Tian Yuan Yang. Qi Shan. Yang Xiang Xiao. For the degree of Master of Science in Geographical Information Systems, Ali Abbasi. Hamid Ahmadi Bikhendi. Rowan Allen. Nicholas Coombs. Adwali Falaye. Sotirios Galanis.
You're a popular chap.
Regine Kelly. Matthew Kettle.
Well done, Matthew.
Abdullahi Kuta. Penyard Peneth. Daniel Rex. Donald Ross. Joseph Serpis. Abubakar Umar. Louise Walker. Daniel Wicks. Joanna Willie. For the degree of Master of Science in Geospatial Intelligence, Yi Shen.
I don't know how you do it.
For the degree of Master of Science in Geographical Information Systems and Human Geography, Haidi Abdullah. Mbali Pewa. For the degree of Master of Science in Global Environmental Change, Emma Holland. For the degree of Master of Science in Information and Communications Engineering, Hiyaye Al-Shevri. Hao-King Hui. Kushagra. Yuki Sheng. For the degree of Master of Science in Mathematical Modelling in Biology, Funda Katan. Yadiga Shakashi. For the degree of Master of Science in Physical Chemistry, Omayama Alaisui. For the degree of Master of Science in Reliable Embedded Systems, Mohammed Alias. Mustafa Al-Hafaf. Hector Hernandez. Hassan Mahmoud. Catherine Proctor. For the degree of Master of Science in Research in Human Geography, Liam O'Brien. For the degree of Master of Science in Software Engineering for Financial Services, Luke Bell.
You're a popular chap, you are, Luke.
Shi Chao Chen. Heng Yan Lin. Lei Ren. Xuan Qian. Mingdaugas Vizeris. For the degree of Master of Science in Sustainable Management of Natural Resources, Philip Bunce. Ting Ting Liu. William Metcalf. Miao Wang. Shi Jiang. For the degree of Master of Science in Web Applications and Services, winner of the Best Student Prize and the Best Software Development Prize, Jonathan Pike.
You can't do much better than that, can you?
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, as head of the College of Medicine, Biological Sciences and Psychology, I present the following candidates for their degrees. For the degree of Doctor of Medicine, Matthew Ahern. Samuel Engemes.
Congratulations.
Suman Kundu.
Congratulations.
Benjamin Obukufe.
Congratulations.
Christopher Stedman. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Maria Hernandez.
Congratulations.
Akram Al-Gamdi.
Congratulations.
Abdul Karim Al-Hertz.
Congratulations.
Bisan Al-Midawi.
Congratulations.
Akwazi Amayoko.
Congratulations.
Yusuf Bagati.
Congratulations.
Amy Bovell.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Samantha Carrera.
Congratulations.
Patrice Carter.
Congratulations.
Crescentia Clayton.
Congratulations.
Abby Fairs.
Congratulations.
Lorenzo Franciscat.
Congratulations.
Michele Graciotti.
Congratulations.
Sumit Gupta.
Congratulations.
Philip Hands.
Congratulations.
Stephen Hunt.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Andrew Irvin.
Congratulations.
Masa Kabashi.
Congratulations.
Emmanuel Katsugudakis.
Congratulations.
Koi Long.
Congratulations.
Janet Nail.
Congratulations.
Christopher Newby.
Congratulations.
Sarah O'Brien.
Congratulations.
Jennifer Patel.
Congratulations.
Richard Stanford.
Congratulations.
Emma Tarrant.
Congratulations.
Matthew Tonkin.
Congratulations.
Valeria Zanato.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Catherine Bradley.
Congratulations.
Nicola Bocelli.
Congratulations.
Richard Burton.
Congratulations.
Jeanette Forster.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Lisa Goldsworthy Francis.
Congratulations.
Amelia Houghton.
Congratulations.
Sarah Lawson.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Faiza Nazir.
Congratulations.
Emma Nicholas.
Congratulations.
Alice Nichols.
Congratulations.
Anwen Koo.
Congratulations.
Lorna Showell.
Congratulations.
Sarah Sims.
Congratulations.
Rachel Swancott.
Congratulations.
Helen Taylor.
Congratulations.
Emma Tilbury.
Congratulations.
Gobind Durjit Upal.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Research, Rebecca Arkell.
Congratulations.
Carl Orr.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Research in Applied Health Research, Tammy Holmes.
Congratulations.
Hannah Mandalia. Tawiwat Wiankam. For the degree of Master of Research in Research Translation Management, Rakesh Panchal. Jennifer Jenner. Parandaman Thekanamurthy. Timothy Trimble. For the degree of Master of Science in Bioinformatics, Sudad Dale. Vasan Thipriadashini Gadi. Florian Groth. Danisha Ramar. Scott Shooter. Krishna Sidagam. Yamini Sivaji. Victoria Wright. For the degree of Master of Science in Cancer Cell and Molecular Biology, and winner of the Sir Sidney King Cancer Research Fund Prize, Rosita Adib. Alia Ahmad. Oladipo Akinwale. Kirthi Chalapuath. Hirsch Karim. Rabia Kapadia. Kaori Kashi. Winner of the Sir Sidney King Cancer Research Fund Prize, David Mason. Katie Packwood. Adele Parsler. Ahalia Sekha. Ramatala Sese. Yun Som. Pavisva Kumar. Angatu Yusuf. Wen Zhang. For the degree of Master of Science in Forensic Psychology, Sukdeep Bains. Manpreet Bands. Dominique Clancy. Genevieve Cook. Benjamin Cuff. Emily Nielsen. Winner of the Clive Hollin Prize, Thimna Klatt.
Congratulations, well done on your prize.
Alice McDougall.
Congratulations.
Oana Niga.
Congratulations.
Urvi Rathod.
Congratulations.
Ayesha Saifuddin.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Clive Hollin Prize and the Wiley Prize, Verity Statham.
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Genevieve Waterhouse.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Infection and Immunity, Hifa Al-Zawani.
Congratulations.
Faisal Al-Zaidi.
Congratulations.
Poonam Billy Moria.
Congratulations.
Ellen Carroll.
Congratulations.
Moussé Fadé.
Congratulations.
Hannah Harris.
Congratulations.
Boaz Jangan.
Congratulations.
Daniel McFeely. Sarvadan Saktivel, Purvi Shah, Christopher Turkington. For the degree of Master of Science in Medical Statistics, Megan Chilton. Neil Corrigan. Joy Ensor. Thomas Evans. Ellen Fagizadeh. Emma Martin. Kate Martin. Winner of the PSI Prize for Statisticians in the Pharmaceutical Industry, Rhiannon Owen.
Well done on your prize.
Amy Patia. Laura Pasea. Virag Patel. Lucy Wiley. Harold Salmon. David Scott. Laura Stephen. Winner of the Diane Jackson Memorial Prize, Hannah Twitchell.
Congratulations and well done on your prize.
Kwok Wong. For the degree of Master of Science in Molecular Genetics, Manaz Abbasian. Winner of the GE Healthcare Prize, Jack Aidley.
Congratulations, well done on your prize.
Deniz Akdeniz.
Congratulations.
Mar Aldwirish.
Congratulations.
Sandeep Aujla.
Congratulations.
Lorena Villario.
Congratulations.
Shantni Lodia.
Congratulations.
Alana Maguire.
Congratulations.
Gareth Moore. Thalia Papageorgiou.
Congratulations.
Rajashri Patil.
Congratulations.
Ekram Shoaib.
Congratulations.
Abhirami Venugopal.
Congratulations.
NG Zhang.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Molecular Pathology and Toxicology, winner of the Sir Sidney King Cancer Research Fund Prize, Victor Alfred.
Congratulations, well done on your prize.
Stella Angeli.
Congratulations.
Ross Doswell.
Congratulations.
Hanan Aitwish.
Congratulations.
Amalgir Khan.
Congratulations.
Irfan Karazi.
Congratulations.
Charlotte Lee.
Congratulations.
Helen Parker.
Congratulations.
Basma Vagabi.
Congratulations.
Aida Castro.
Congratulations.
Imogen Sharp.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hannah Symington.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Laura Turnham.
Congratulations.
Luke Wade.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Occupational Psychology, Aisling Campbell.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Vinnie Chi.
Congratulations.
Teresa Hand Campbell.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Rob Stammers Prize, Lucinda Ilbury.
Congratulations. Well done on your prize.
Stephen Ledbetter.
Congratulations.
Francesca Moscow.
Congratulations.
Elizabeth Peel.
Congratulations.
Belina Rowley.
Congratulations.
Sally Rhodes. Deborah Shingler. Jackie Janitza. Lisa Todd. Carol Walsh. Richard Wood. For the degree of Master of Science in Pain Management, Abigail Emiloni. Morali Nelaptala. Sunjita Power.
Thank you.
For the degree of Master of Science in Psychological Research Methods, Matthew Bennett. Laura Box. Jazdeep Shahal. Xiao Chen. Michael Long. Stephen Wrench. For the degree of Master of Science in Psychology of Work, Emily Greach. Anghim Singh. Joanne Humphreys. Winner of the Rob Stammers Prize, Sarah Lee. For the degree of Master of Arts in Social Work, Gladys Atonga. Harvinder Bawa. Jita Biswas. Alison Brown. Catherine Butlin. Fungay Chazmiunu. Parmaldeep Chima. Stephanie Cliff. Loretta Cunningham. Vanessa Everett. Charlene Flash. Stacey Holland. Satnam Kaur. Kiran Lagan. Emma Lau. Reena Luka. Jaspreet Maini. Suzanne Marshall. Holly Mitchell. Kirsty Norman. Anna Norris. Caroline Niarko. Razambeli Zambeli. Kira Patel. Catherine Rooms. Alison Ryan. Stembeni Sakeki. Farai Sonayama. Emma Thurkel. Daniel Toon. John Ragg. For the postgraduate certificate in cosmetic medicine, Jose Garcia. For the postgraduate certificate in diabetes, Sameh Habib. For the degree of Master of Science in Molecular Pathology and Toxicology, Yvonne Chibanda.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, honoured guests, now it's my turn to say a few words. It's the part of the ceremony where the Chancellor is asked to say a few words, and I must say when someone says, Chancellor, it's your turn, I still tend to look round and assume it's someone else. Takes a bit of adjusting to, as do some of the degrees that we've seen awarded today. Some of them I didn't really understand the name of the degree, let alone geospatial intelligence. My word, that one got me, it really did. Terrific, some of this. But the few words I've got to say are really divided into two parts. Part of them is me saying thank you for the great honour that's been bestowed on me in this my first degree ceremony as Chancellor. And the other part, of course, is to address some remarks to the most important people today, which are those of you who've achieved such success in getting your degrees and your awards today. I really am very grateful to Professor Gordon Campbell for the remarks he made about me. It's always nice when someone reads out the best bits about your life and kindly leaves out the worst parts, and I'm very grateful to him for that. I'm also aware, of course, that I'm slightly unusual amongst the 6 chancellors so far of this university. The 5 previous ones were all very, very eminent scientists. The nearest I got to eminence in science was in 1957 when I got an O-level in physics, and I'm afraid I haven't got much further from that. And I'm the first social scientist, as I think many will understand that we social scientists are sometimes rather in awe of you, as you might say, proper scientists, I've heard some of you say from time to time. It's perhaps understandable because you deal with subjects like global warming and how to save the planet, whereas we social scientists deal with things like referendums and whether or not we should be members of the European Union. Now, it would be an honour for anyone to be made Chancellor of Leicester University, but it's obviously a particular honour for me because 50 years ago, last July it would have been, I was coming up on this stage, in this hall, to shake hands with that Chancellor and get my degree. And I really do think if any of my friends, some of whom are still friends today, 50 years on, who were getting degrees with me at that time, had turned round to me and said, you know, I can imagine you going up there as Chancellor, I would have simply said to him it's time to sober up, really. It was such an unlikely proposition. But certainly coming here after 50 years gives you a wonderful perspective on things and how they've changed. And 2 things in particular have struck me coming back in this way. Firstly, the remarkable development of this university from a brand new small institution to a secure, established and admired centre of excellence. From under 2,000 students when I came in 1959 to more than 20,000 today. And a university with a huge array of new courses that simply weren't there when I came, ranging from medicine to law to name but 2. And yet, and this is my second impression, what was good in the 1950s remains so today. I love the description of this university. Elite, but not elitist. It's a friendly, inclusive place. Leicester is among the best of Britain's top 20 universities for the range of backgrounds from which we draw our students. And we recruit students from many countries right across the world, and we are the richer because of that. There were lots of students like me when I arrived in 1959 who were the first ever in our families to have had the privilege and advantage of a university education. And I know that as your Chancellor, I can simply say to you, there are many of you here today who are in that position, and that, as Chancellor, makes me proud. I'll always be grateful to Leicester for enabling me to study politics and government, which was my passion then and has remained so to this day. And there was so much that I picked up during my undergraduate course, that really has been invaluable to me ever since. It's certainly helped me, I might say, to put politics in perspective and the daily events in perspective. It's assisted me in the many elections that I've lost. And I'm sure you'll allow me one final little trip down memory lane and to say that it was 50 years ago this month, actually, 50 years ago this month, when at a flat in Leicester that I'm sure I could never find again, one Saturday night I met a sociology student named Sally, and we've been together ever since. So that's right. That's Q for the R, that is. And she's shown the patience of Job, listening to hundreds of speeches I've made over the years, and tried to look interested as well most of the time. So I've got an awful lot to be grateful to for Leicester University, and I'm sure you can all appreciate just how much of an honour it is for me to have been asked by the university to be your Chancellor for the next 5 years. So thanks again to Professor Campbell, and I do thank most sincerely the University Council and Court for the honour that they've given me. Well, that's more than enough about me. I'd like now to turn to the real successes of the day. That's to those of you who've been awarded your degrees. Now, to those of you from the College of Science and Engineering, I have this to say. As someone who, as I've said, is not a scientist, I really am lost in admiration at the range and indeed the wonder of some of the subjects in which you've demonstrated your ability. I've already mentioned one of them. Many of your studies touch on fundamental issues that the world must address in the years ahead, from global warming, which I've mentioned, to food and energy supplies. I'm tempted to say that, in part at least, the future of the planet depends on the research, the knowledge and the expertise of people like you. So there's no pressure there then. And to those of you with degrees from the College of Medicine, Biological Sciences and Psychology, your studies cover areas where in my lifetime the advances have been phenomenal, with incalculable benefits to people right across the globe. You've achieved a wonderful grounding in subjects of massive importance to us all. Now I say this, say to all of you, that I make the simple point that your achievements are not only of benefit to you, they're of enormous importance to all of us. A country's investment in education is an investment in its future. Now, this has been a very happy event for students, staff, relatives, friends, and of course it has been for me as well. In essence, it's a celebration of the conclusion of what for many of you has been a long journey. I know that you've come here from many different routes, some part-time, very difficult combining studies with a job, very hard work, some full-time, some resident here in Leicester, some by distance learning. And to all of you, I say very well done indeed. Your degree is a badge of achievement, of endeavour, of success. And particularly in the present economic climate when, as we all know, it's tough, including tough in the jobs market. This is something, your degree, which will always be there, sound and secure, giving you real confidence in your ability and in your capacity to face challenges and to succeed. What's more, whatever employer you approach, you can do it in the knowledge that you have a good degree from a first-class university. A university, moreover, which has particular reason to be proud of its record in postgraduate education. As you've heard from the Vice-Chancellor, more than half of the 23,000 students here are on postgraduate courses. But I also want to say thank you. During my career, I've spent a fair amount of time talking about our political system to people on graduate and postgraduate courses. Many of you might be surprised to know the debt which all staff feel they owe to students, for the insights, the enthusiasm, and the challenges that you provide. Teachers always appreciate so much the many students and particularly aware of the fact that they're going on to do interesting things in life, and teachers always feel pride in their subsequent achievements. And any teacher or lecturer, in part, is sorry when their students complete their studies and they say goodbye. It's not true of all students, of course, rather the odd ones who you are not sorry to see depart. But the vast majority, of course, it's a moving on, and it's one where you inevitably look back at the good times as well. So I simply say, on behalf of the staff of the university, that as well as saying well done to all of you, we also say thank you for the contribution you've made to the development and success of Leicester University. And this is the right moment as well for me to add another word of thanks, which is to your families and friends, who I know will have encouraged you and supported you along the way. And finally, I want to say good luck. Some, of course, say that luck's one of life's most important ingredients. I certainly know that in my profession of politics, a few votes here or there can make all the difference between triumph and disaster. Whole books have been written on the subject. But I'm sure that your time here at Leicester will have shifted the odds substantially in your favour for whatever lies ahead. I hope you'll keep in touch and tell us what you're doing, because, of course, your success, in part at least, is our success as well. Your predecessors have contributed massively to making Leicester University the fine university it is today, and I know you'll be adding to that. I hope you'll encourage others to come and study here. I hope you'll each in your own way be ambassadors for the university. And may I say this, as someone who's been involved in public life for many years, perhaps I can add that I hope that many of you will use the talents you've demonstrated to help your own local communities, in voluntary work maybe, in schools or colleges, governing bodies, universities, maybe local government, maybe, who knows, in Parliament. And so, to all of you, I offer the simplest of messages. Well done, thank you, and in the years ahead, I wish you every possible success. To do this properly with the hat on. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, in thanking you all for your attendance on this happy occasion, I now formally declare this congregation closed.